So, Coldheart, this is literally the best rare that you can get in the game. Coolest thing is, she's super easy to get. I've got like 3 or 4 Coldhearts so far. And this is a character that is literally S tier. It's gonna push you to pretty much every single aspect of the game, except maybe PvP. She's not really excellent for that. Now, before we talk about how you can build her, let me just show you some of her abilities. So she has this AoE ability that just wipes out entire teams. However, she is most importantly a nuker. Now this character, if you build her right, is literally a boss killer, and you can do so much with her because it drains the enemy's turn. It also, let me just show you. So this is a Heartseeker. Essentially, it just obliterates entire enemies. As you see, not only did it do a lot of damage, but it also decreased the turn meter. Now, let's look at how you can build her, what you want to do, and how you can use Coldheart. So if you guys are new to the game, or if you're recently started playing, I'd urge you to click on the link in the description or scan the QR code that is on the screen and you can get an amazing start, literally the best start right now. You will get Zergala immediately after you complete the tutorial. You will get Ugo at level 15. Then you can also go into the promo codes as a new player. You can type in Supreme 6, so this is a code for Supreme Galaxy that is only available for a few more days. And you can also type in Monkey King, that is also available for Sun Wukong. Ideally, you can also join my clan as well. We still need a few more members to really upgrade our clan. So today I want to talk about Coldheart. Now you guys, if you have been around the game for at least a month, you must have heard about this character. You know, when you go to Reddit and you look at tactics, how can I defeat this boss, what can I do, you turn to Coldheart and essentially everyone says build Coldheart, build Coldheart. Now, this is literally, aside from the army girl, maybe the most budget character out there, but it is insane. Like, this is essentially a legendary that is a rare, and the best thing about her being a rare is that not only you're almost guaranteed to get her if you get the rare shards, but you can also build her up really fast. I mean, the rare books are super cheap, super easy to come by. You might even get another Coldheart so you can upgrade her abilities through that. So super easy to book her, and booking her is important because some of these cooldowns are a very, very big deal, especially the Heartseeker. Now, before we talk about the build, and keep in mind, this is not the most ideal build that I got on right now. This is not the best thing you want to do, but I'll tell you like what percentages you need to build. So essentially, for example, 70% critical rate, accuracy, speed, but we'll get to that in a bit. Let me just really quickly show you her ability. So as a rare, she doesn't actually have an aura skill, which is not really a big deal. I mean, if you guys start with my link, or if you got some of these characters, some of these other characters have excellent aura, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, Coldheart is not really like, it's essentially an addition to your already, you know, synchronized team. So let's look at her first ability. Now, sometimes she always does, like, this is the only single target damage she has. Sometimes she's not the best character to go with, because for example, if you got Nether Spider, you don't want to damage those spiders, she can be annoying, but in like 90% cases this always works well, especially for waves. So her first ability is the Flurry of Arrows, so she attacks 4 times at random. Each hit has a 25% chance of placing a 100% heal reduction debuff for 2 turns. This can counter very well. However, she also hits multiple enemies, and this can, on some occasions, for example, for Doom Tower, it can really help you wipe out waves. Now, this ability is sort of like the same thing as the first one, just bigger, just AoE stuff, because she attacks all enemies. There's a 30% chance of placing a 50% decreased accuracy debuff for 1 turn, 5% poison debuff for 2 turns if the target is under heal reduction. So essentially, you synchronize the Flurry of Arrows with the Art of Pain. Here, I mean, the increases the damage. Rare books don't really make that much of a difference. Here, the cooldown is on 2, so 3 turns, having a very strong AoE, as you guys have seen at the start. I mean, I've essentially wiped out half of the wave with this ability, so 3 turns is pretty good. However, the reason why everyone is talking about Coldheart is the Heartseeker. Now, this is why you really want her. This is why she's a legendary character, essentially. Now, this, if you combine it right, for bosses, it is insane. Like, you can use it for so many various scenarios that you'll run into raid. So, Heartseeker attacks one enemy, decreases the target's turn meter by 100%. He has an extra 30% chance of inflicting a critical hit. Damage increases according to the enemy max HP. For this, enemy max HP is key here, because if you build her right, I mean, for bosses, she's gonna do a whole lot of damage. It's literally, there's a reason they call her a nuker, because she literally nukes the boss. And even better than that, she decreases the turn meter by 100%. So for some bosses, I mean, this is essentially a game changer. It also helps you for clan bosses as well. Now, as you guys can see, I managed to get a level 3 awakening. I was lucky to get a half soul here. Phantom touch for the blessing. I managed to put all the masteries. I believe this is a clan boss masteries. I'm not 100% certain. However, I managed to get an relic, nothing crazy. This is the only one I had, so I just put something on her better than anything. However, I want to talk about her build. So don't focus on this build, not the best build. Coldheart was one of my first characters. I think I had Kale at the start, Coldheart, Melga, and maybe a few other characters. So I was lucky to have this level 6 gear, but this is not the gear you want to build. So let's really quickly look at the stats. I mean, for me, like, critical rate is okay-ish. It's 60% almost. However, if you are building her right, if you're building her optimally, you need 70% minimum. So 70% crit rate is key. The reason for that is because there's a 30% chance of inflicting a critical hit. So 70% here, essentially guaranteed critical hit. At 60%, it's sometimes hit or miss. Like, it's very rare, but sometimes it doesn't happen. However, it's very critical that you build her together with this, because this is going to do a lot of damage. If you book it, it's essentially 30% more damage, 1 cooldown, 4 turns, not exactly ideal, but it is a pretty strong nuke, so you really need critical rate. Focus on critical rate. Also, not the best stats here. Speed is really atrocious here. Ideally, you want about 200 at least, 200 accuracy, not the best build that I got. I managed to increase. Feral works okay. I mean, Feral increase speed, increase accuracy. It's similar to perception. Ideally, I should have put perception instead. I mean, this increased speed by 10%, but it's not really that good. So ideally, something like accuracy, perception, relentless can work well. As I said, focus on getting accuracy is very important for her, because if there's no accuracy, she's not going to be able to hit bosses, so they're just going to resist it. So essentially, the character is completely useless. Crit rate, as I said, very important to build, because with strong crit rate, it's essentially a guaranteed nuke every time. And also speed doesn't have to be crazy. I mean, if you can get decent speed, it's good. I mean, 200, 250, it would really help you out a lot, because you're gonna get more turns. There's a higher chance that you're gonna get more nukes down the line. The only problem I've had so far with Coldheart essentially is you also need some survivability. Like, people don't really talk about this too much, but people do recommend HP percentage especially. You want some HP. What I found with Coldheart, for example, is she does a lot of damage, but she's kind of squishy. She's like a glass cannon. Like, if you get to like level 90 Doom Tower, unfortunately, when they hit hard, when the bosses hit hard, like, she's only gonna last like 2 turns. So I've had occasions where, yeah, she hits hard, she does the turn reduction thing, but she essentially survives to be able to do just 1 attack. Luckily, I have a few resurrection characters, so I managed to get her back and hit it like maybe 1 more time, 2 more times. But survivability is a pretty big problem for Coldheart. However, for the statistics, focus on crit rate. Crit rate is key, especially if you're building her as a boss killer. Get accuracy and speed. So accuracy, speed, and crit rate. And also, if you can, get some HP, get some survivability, because you want her to be able to at least hit a few times, because there's no point in her being a nuke if she's gonna die before she even gets to the boss. Now for this, I haven't really built her much, because this is like the first accessories that I've had here, and as you may know, accessories are super expensive to get. However, guys, if you pull Coldheart, don't sacrifice her, don't use her as food, build her up. She's gonna be, even up to the like mid game, even late game, in Coldheart can be pretty useful. You can even do builds for the Scarab King, for example, in Destroy gear. So yeah, you can do a whole lot of versatile things. You can have specialized roles for her, but this is sort of like a general PvP stat. So Also, if you guys are new to the game or if you recently started playing, I'd urge you to create a new account, click my link in the description or scan the QR code that you can see on the screen. You will get Zergala immediately as you complete the tutorial. You will get Ugo at level 15. Then you can go into the promo codes, you can type in Supreme 6, only available for a few more days. You will get Supreme Gallic, which is a really rare opportunity. Or if you don't like Supreme Gallic, you can type in, for example, Monkey King, and you will get Son of Wukong, which is a pretty good character as well. Also, if you guys need a clan, because clans are super important to level up, I'd urge you to join mine, the Arena Syndicate TS4A. We still got a few more spots left. So, thank you guys for watching this video, and see you in the next one.